Previously on Wine Wars.
P.S. Can we talk about Rogue One?
Sure. Well, here's an idea. Do we want to just keep going and do a bonus episode?
Bonus.
Sure. What are we going to talk about in this?
Well, I don't know how long this is going to be, but
let's just do it.
I just wanted to say that.
Wait, should we wrap up?
Scott will fix it in post.
Wine Wars, the show with four friends who love three things: wine and Star Wars.
Welcome to Wine Wars. You're joining the four of us as we sniff, sip, and talk about Star Wars. Live from our dining room here in Madison, Wisconsin. I am Anne's spectator. With me, as always, Jason.
Hello.
Scott.
Hi, Ann.
And Amy.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hey.
So it's been, 2 weeks since we saw it?
About, yeah.
Okay. So I have not seen it again. I've seen it one time. Mm-hmm. And you guys heard my immediate reaction because we did the episode right afterwards.
Mm-hmm. I was told by intern Angela that we were mean to Scott.
No, you were mean to Star Wars.
Oh, yeah. We were mean to Star Wars.
Not me.
Angela is... P.S. Intern Angela is super protective of Scott's feelings, which I think is so funny. Because
I don't have any feelings.
think about your feelings. And
Never
she's
once.
so in tune with them. She thought we were mean in the episode?
We were just mean to Star
She just thought you were very critical of the movie.
We were but
what were you going to say?
The problem was we brought all the good in the end. Mm-hmm. And we started from a hypercritical point on the show.
Well, we were starting with instant reactions, and I think that the fact that mine was negative is a kind of overriding to...
It's a very Ann thing to do.
It is, isn't it? I'm sorry, and I'll work on that. Fuck.
Change begins with you.
Some of my 2017 resolutions. It's ranking like number 30, but I'll work on it.
Okay.
Anywho, and maybe this is where I redeem myself, is that I've been thinking about it for 2 weeks, and I'll say this. I get what they were trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's it?
You mean like...
That's it?
You mean like tell a Star Wars story?
I'll say this. We've talked to probably half a dozen people about the movie, and we've had more to talk about with this movie than we did with Force Awakens.
Oh, sure.
Well, yeah, because Force Awakens was easy. We were all like, damn, that was freaking awesome.
Well, and it was fun and Star Warsy, and that's about where it ends, right?
Yeah, it's like, it was a Star Wars, yay!
It was like the first one, yay!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is trying to be an enhancement in the story, that microscopic level, down on the ground thing. And I get why people who love the story of Star Wars and who are dorky about the story like this. It's like another perspective on something that you suspect was happening, and here is the story of that. So I guess I have an appreciation for what it brings to the table.
It just didn't hit it for you.
Well, for me, what I think I've kind of come, and this is an evolving opinion, but at the moment, my opinion is I think it was just today, actually, I was sort of like, I wonder if I'm done with Star Wars. In terms of, I can talk about the first three for the rest of time. Mm-hmm. I loved last year's. But I don't know if I need this reimagination of the story in these next stories. I
get it.
And I think this also could be a reflection of Carrie Fisher dying and everyone I love dying, where it's just
you can't put your heart into anything else?
Kind of okay, I'm just going to fence that off. I loved it so much, and I don't need to keep opening myself up to what's next, and I'll always have it. Yeah, and so it's I actually think I could see these Star Wars movies in an appreciation way of it's a movie, a Star Trek movie or a Jason Bourne movie, or it's a fun adventure movie, and there might be a spaceship scene, but I don't associate it with my original. My feelings about the original three are now in a lockbox inside my heart.
Mm-hmm. Those are because you're a kid.
Right.
It's
I think that's a very logical way to think about it. This is something entirely new and different. And honestly, these movies probably aren't for us. You know,
No.
they're for the new generation
Yeah.
of teenagers that are going to the
Yeah.
Well,
movie
just
theater
like
and-
how the 1, 2, and 3 with Jar Jar and everything, those weren't for us. Those were for 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
And
You know what?
I
Who
had-
were those? Let's
15 years ago.
I have
okay,
a coworker
okay.
who knows I'm, you know, a Star Wars fan because I go to work in a Star Wars sweater, and
He does have a Christmas Star Wars sweater.
No, like every day.
that he busts out. Yeah, he
90
wears it
degrees
all
in
week.
Wisconsin. He's wearing a Star Wars sweater.
I'm good.
It's Yoda Day.
But she was asking to get her son the whole collection of the Star Wars because you can buy like episodes 1 through 6 in a pack. I'm like, oh yeah, you can do that, but you don't need episodes 1 through 3. They're crap. And she's like, yeah, but he grew up with them and he really likes them. And I was like, oh, true, fair enough.
Whoa.
You know, teenagers, kids who are 17, 18 now.
Well, they
were
might think that about the
4 or
original.
5 when
Sure.
prequels came out. That's essentially where we were.
Right.
I almost
Yeah.
think it's the same argument for why I might feel a little bit like, for me, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm just,
Well, shouldn't that mean then it's all bonus from here on out?
I'm trying to think of it that way, I guess. But
Like if
it's
another one
hard-
comes out that blows you away the way that Force Awakens blew you away,
Yeah.
you know, then it's like, all right. But
Yeah. And even,
I
know.
didn't hate 3.
I
Three's
didn't.
all right.
I did not hate it either. It's just it didn't check off my boxes.
It's like they needed to wait until now to make 3.
all right, 3
Oh,
being
yeah.
Rogue One.
No.
What are you talking about?
Like
Revenge
1,
of the
2,
Sith.
and 3. And they
You
probably-
didn't hate 3? Did you
No.
just say that?
I didn't hate 3.
It's the best of the prequels, probably.
Yeah.
I
I
need
think
to
it ties.
I need to rewatch that.
I think it ties the, you know,
Is that when
all
he
6
stands on the
movies
lava
together.
planet and is like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. So I guess like a lot of people I love and respect really love this movie, and it's like, and I agree, and I did like the last half. Like it fills in some questions, fills it all in, but it's just it is not comparable to me. It's like not the same playing field as Star Wars.
It's never gonna be.
Yeah, and so
But I
I
don't
think
think it's
that's
supposed to be. I think it's like this Fantastic Beasts.
Well-
right? Where it's like, well, that's more a Harry Potter story. That's fun.
yeah. I guess I just wasn't ready for that. There was so much excitement and like, oh, the previews were so excited.
I just don't think you
I
understood
thought-
what you didn't
what I was-
really totally understand what you were getting into.
I don't think I did either. And now that I've seen it and I've had literally 2 weeks to think about it, I'm kind of like, okay, it's not a Star Wars movie. It's a movie
It's a Star Wars
with
story.
Star Wars in it.
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense to me.
It's a movie in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
That's not about the Skywalkers.
I also don't understand
Yeah.
how you knew this was happening for a year and didn't know that's what was going on.
Well, no, I did know, and that's why I was all bitchy the whole year.
Yeah,
like,
she was
why
not
is
the
this-
biggest fan of this
So
movie.
Still
I-
isn't.
Is
I
that-
just didn't understand why they were trying to make another Star. Like, don't call it a Star Wars movie. Like, I was
So
just
is
very
that
frustrated.
is that
by
the
that.
crux for you that a Star Wars movies needs to have something to do with Skywalkers?
I don't think it's Skywalkers.
I think it's just the feel of it. Like if they had done the
Yes.
font.
Oh my god!
No,
The fucking
no.
font.
Seriously,
No,
no, with
let
the
me.
font. It's
Okay,
fucked
like
up.
if they had gone to the opening crawl, and they had a different version of "bah," if they did it like
Yep.
different key, whatever, they did it a different color and not the gold. Like don't. You know what? This reminds me of the time that I took my meat and potatoes loving dad to Karen's Fresh Market on whatever street
love
that
your
is in
analogies,
Chicago.
Which
And
is-
my dad orders a sun burger. And my dad's like a steak man, right? Like he knows his cuts of beef. And so he orders the sun burger, and it's like this raw vegan restaurant thing. And he ended up just covering it up with a plate or
a napkin.
a piece of lettuce or whatever. He's like, this is not my thing.
Not meat.
It's like don't try to sell this to me. I feel I think the
Yeah.
reason why you and I were disappointed is because it was like they were trying to sell meat to vegetarians.
Yep.
You know, it was just like don't put it in this wrapper and give it this name and then not deliver the thing that you always generally deliver.
Yep. This is totally
If
it.
it's totally different, then market it and package it as something totally different.
Yep. And so now that I've had 2 weeks to think about, like, oh, I didn't go to a vegetarian restaurant.
Yeah.
Like, as a meat entree, it's fine. You know, I get what that was about. So anyway, I wanted to say that.
As a full-on Star Wars nerd, I would say probably my whole life I would have liked to have seen the story of how they got
Yes.
the plans to the Death Star.
I agree. And we watched Star Wars again the second we heard the Carrie Fisher news. We turned it on and watched it again. And like it is like line 1, right? Vader's like, how did you get the plans to Death?
Right.
And when
We know
nobody
they were
ever
transmitted
knew.
to you, yeah.
And it's great to have that story. I wish it had been told. I definitely have criticisms of the movie. I wish it had been told better.
I think so we touched on this in our review. That whole first trailer is not in the movie entirely.
Yeah.
With the reshoots, I think they changed a bunch and kind of had to scramble a little, because if in the original trailer, Jin's running with the plans in her hand on the beach, like
I
running
need to
back
see
to
this again.
back to the ship.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they were like, oh, we watched episode 4 again, and they say they
They're-
transmitted the plans.
Yep.
Not, ran off with them.
and you know the
Yep.
nerd rage that there would have been if they had let that go.
Or I wonder if I could go off on a bunch of different theories, but she ran back
She
to
could
their
have been
ship.
running holding a floppy disk, and it
It
would have
basically
made
is a
sense.
giant, it's a giant jump drive that they ran.
It's like a jump drive kettlebell. Whatever.
Trouble, yeah. Like went back to the ship, and the bit where the blind guy has to like push the lever. I wonder if that was the original way that they had to transmit it, like from their ship, but then it got weirdly edited. I don't know. Either way, that wouldn't have. I don't think that would have fixed what you're not happy with.
No, it wouldn't have.
What the people at Disney said was it doesn't feel fun enough. The whole criticism was.
Well, and that's supposed to
it
be Disney's
So
thing.
how dark was it originally?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think if it was darker, I would have liked it more.
That's fair enough. Like commit, right?
Yeah. It's like, if you're going to go there, take me all the way.
Take me all the way.
Because I felt like there were, well, I even, because I listened to our episode again,
Did you cry?
No.
Did you laugh?
Yeah, I did laugh. Because we're freaking hysterical. But, no, what I heard a comment that I had made that I said, I don't think I would feel a little weird bringing 8-year-olds to go see this.
It's PG-13.
Whereas the ones with Jar Jar Binks, I've been like, they're all over this shit. They're going to love it.
Yeah. It's a totally different movie.
So
for a
the
different
fact that it
purpose.
was that violent, it's like they got cold
It's no
feet
Empire.
last minute
Right.
Yeah.
and then had to edit out a bunch of stuff.
And I think
Yeah.
we're we're rehashing things, but it's about
Yeah, I thought we were
creating.
going to go in a different direction from what Anne was talking about, and now it's just gotten to a bitch fest again.
No. I think it's the time to develop the character isn't there. I bet you there's a 2-hour, 45-minute cut of that movie that's great. I kind of wish that they would have made a mini series out of that, like
Yes.
an 8-episode mini series,
Netflix.
where the whole first episode is all about like Jin's parents.
Yes.
and her being,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And
Because
her-
the story is solid.
Right.
I would be all over that. And I
Right.
even
It's not
said over Christmas, I'm like, if there's like a 4-hour director's cut, I'm probably going to love it.
And I think this is probably part of the change in the media is that
we're used to that now.
should have been how that came out.
Right.
It should have been, and that's what they maybe should take from this. Hey, Disney, like have a great story and make it a
Right.
full-on Netflix show.
because that's what everyone's used to now, binging
Yeah.
on
Right.
Stranger Things,
Yeah.
binging on The Wire, on Breaking Bad, on all these shows that you sit down on a Sunday and you watch 8 hours
Yeah.
front to back of it.
Yeah.
And
'Cause that story-
that's a culture change.
That story was good, and it was not thorough enough for me.
Right.
But my criticism is it could have been more thorough, but instead we are wasting all this time on random battles when we could have been learning more about her or
Well, and maybe
I
the
don't know.
battles would not have seemed so random if we had more story
Right.
explaining and building them
Yeah.
up.
Right. Well, when you think of like Game of Thrones, when they're huge battles, like taking a whole episode,
Yeah.
and it's like, wow, that was intense.
But it's
we just spent
like
an hour in the midst of that battle rather
going
than
on-
15 minutes because that's all they have time for in a movie.
Yeah.
Right. But it's going on its 7th season now.
Exactly.
Whereas, I mean, how many hours of content is that? It's insane.
Hundreds.
yeah.
And so they're trying to stuff it all into, one. How long was Rogue One?
2.5 hours,
2
maybe.
hours, 14 minutes.
It was
Well,
long.
I mean, Scott and I are going to see it tomorrow.
I
so
feel like
we'll tell
it went
you.
by really fast.
I actually don't like. We saw it one time, and I can't wait to see it again tomorrow to refreshen thoughts.
Yeah.
I think it's too early to be having this conversation,
Oh.
guys.
Well,
All right. So we'll revisit.
I have a different reaction.
Go ahead. What we got?
Well, that was it. I already told
That you get it.
Well, yeah. So you're saying you appreciate what it was going for, but it didn't land for you.
Yeah.
It was like they were trying a triple sow cow, but they just didn't hit it.
I guess.
I don't know vaulting terms or groundwork, and
Yeah, that's good. You got it.
that was
I mean,
skating.
it was skating, but it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So, oh, wait, no, I have one more thing. That a lot of people, since Carrie Fisher died, have seen it for the first time. And I am seeing, anyway, on my Facebook, a lot of oh, spoiler, seeing Leia at the end. And I just cried. It was so good. There's no fucking excuse for that Leia shot at the end. Okay. I am a little more sympathetic this week. But that was horrible, and I think it was offensive. And
Offensive.
yeah,
I think it was offensive that they didn't pay her or credit her.
I'm sure she got she's gonna get
She
some
did get
likeness
money.
it's the
payment.
first time we saw a representation of Leia that wasn't Carrie Fisher, and I hated it. And everyone's like, "Oh, it made me cry, and today is so important that I saw that." And no, just don't even show her face if it's not Carrie Fisher. And I guess this gets back to my feeling very protective of the first three.
She got paid
don't
for the
don't even
Force Awakens and the
dip
next
your
one?
Right.
toe into the original trilogy if you're not going to do it right. Just back off and do the second trilogy then, because you're offending me.
I think that they could have easily, in a bunch of respects, with the characters that they CGI'd in, they could have, the reflection in the mirror, like we talked about last time, where it's totally unmistakably the character looks great, and they could have showed the buns and from the back,
Yep.
the handoff, and not shown the digital CGI face.
And you would have
My Anaconda
appreciated
don't
it
want
so
none.
much more.
Yeah.
They're going to go back and
Unless you
fix
got
that
buns.
shit, and then they're going to re-release it and be like, "Oh, it's the remastered whatever the fuck, pay more thing." And then we're all going to be like, "Oh, I want to see what they did with Leia's face this time. It looks so creepy." And I'm sick of it. I'm just sick of throwing my money at this. Just do it right.
When did this turn into a therapy session?
It's super. Right around Christmas night when George Michael
Yeah.
died. Yeah, it was like, oh,
Well, that's why I
I
said
get
there's-
it. And I remember saying out loud to Jason, "Oh my God, one day," and I said this years ago, "one day Madonna's gonna die, and what are we gonna do on that day? What's gonna happen on the day?"
We're going to Vogue. That's what we're going to do.
Vogue our asses off. But I didn't put together with that. That's oh no, everybody.
It's like all my heroes.
Everyone.
Okay, so I think I got.
Cyndi Lauper,
I think I've-
Olivia Newton-John.
Mark Hamill.
Oh my God! It's
Harrison
all that.
Ford.
I think I'm dealing
inevitable.
with my own mortality at
Absolutely.
this point, and that is I am just lashing out. You know who's taking it the hardest right now? Bend over, CGI Leia.
So
No.
I think that is very much what's happening as a culture right now. Is everyone? So culture like this did not exist. So we saw this bonkers
Even
movies
5
yesterday.
years ago.
Over the Edge is probably where this type of culture began. That late 70s, early 80s is where everyone had the same culture. Everyone went to see E.T.
Yep.
Everyone went to see the Goonies.
Yep.
Everyone went to see
Pete's
Raiders.
Dragon.
Yep. All that stuff.
Well, no, it's not everyone had the same culture. It was a
It's a
generation.
yeah, that's what I mean.
So we're this is our generation's heroes slowly kicking the can.
Right.
Because for our grandparents, it was
Elvis.
or Dean Martin and
But yes, it's our American
Hart.
culture. American culture is changing and losing its first version
And what we're left with is shit.
to us. But
Yeah.
that's what every
But
generation.
Every
says.
generation's like, this kids today.
yeah.
Get
They
off
are,
my
aren't
lawn!
they?
Oh my god. So when we were at Barolo last night, after seeing this movie filmed in 1979, Matt Dillon's debut on film, and we go into Barolo and they are playing like Supertramp and Chicago and Jefferson Starship and like all these yummy, tasty songs that I grew up with. Like I was a kid in the backseat of my parents' Chevy Cavalier Celebrity station wagon, pulling old French fries out from hiding underneath the seat and being like, "Do I or don't I? I'm 8. I don't care."
And the McDonald's bag probably had Star Wars on it.
Yep.
It could have. And so those are my memories of growing up. And then like after a couple of blissful hours,
The owner left, who is from that generation, and then the youngins were left over in
the
charge.
young hipster behind the bar put on some shit that like I could bring it up and play it, but I don't want to subject anybody to this that they call music. It was so bad. I was if I
Didn't
was on
fit
it,
the atmosphere of where you guys were sitting. Right?
Well, that for sure.
it didn't. And then on top of that, it was like if I was on acid, this would send me into a bad trip. That's what this music is like.
Bad
So-
trip.
Anyway, but
But
that's
that's-
their generation.
That's what every generation does.
And
They
so
look
it's
at the
like-
next one and go, well, "Oh, you're everything you do is dumb.
Yeah.
E.T. is great."
So, like, for example, my grandma who loves George Jones and, like, soft Texas swing kind of music and, like, quiet stuff, she, the first time I played Radiohead for her, she was like, "What's this garbage?" Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, I get it
Probably
now.
wouldn't have shown Radiohead to my grandma.
Well,
That's another choice.
I was 19, I knew everything. Grandma didn't know anything.
right.
And now I realize, oh, I'm sorry, Grandma.
There is new music, so that reminds me of Jamie Kent's new album, and there's a song on there very specifically that I know my grandma would have loved because she liked,
The
Buck
Randy
Owens,
Travis.
George Jones, Randy Travis, Alan Jackson,
the Randy Travis kind of country.
Clint Black.
Yeah, it's classic country. So some of that is still being created, and I don't know if I love it because it reminds me of what I loved when I was young, or if it's just like calls into question like good art can stand the test of time. And where is this generation's Dolly Parton or whatever?
You'd have to ask them.
Ariana Grande.
It might be a Miranda Lambert kind of thing.
She's good. Yeah. I guess. I just think 2016, this is why everyone's saying, oh, it's a bad year. And yes. Oh, P.S. People on
vintage.
Facebook are almost, I am this close to not turning on Facebook, but of course I never would because I do it all the time. But
She's on it right now. She said that.
I know, I love it so much. But the people who are like, just so you know, like people don't die according to a calendar year. Yeah, I know. We all fucking know.
That's how we measure time.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's how we're all going to lash out and more.
I do it in
and wow, you fuck
fiscal
off.
year starting from April 1st. But thanks.
Yeah. And people are like, people are going to keep dying in 2017. Yeah, I fucking know that too. All these people who are like,
Yeah, and when Harrison Ford dies in
Babe, don't
2017, I'm going to be angry then, and that year's going to suck. So deal with
but
it.
it's like,
Yeah.
we're all of a sudden, we're all sad because a lot of shit's gone down in 2016.
It's been a year of icons. Big time.
Well, I mean, it started with,
Well, and paradigm
was Bowie
shifts.
February?
Bowie was in February-ish. Yeah. I was at the
Bowie
week.
was in January.
January?
Was it late January or early February?
I think
Either
it
way.
was like. It doesn't matter.
I think his album came out like February 2nd, and
and
it
he
was
died like the 3rd or 4th,
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
But that whole week, all I listened to was his stuff, and I
He
was at work
so
on a Friday.
sad.
And it's really usually dead at work on Fridays. And I went down to the cafeteria, and there was one piece of salmon left that I ordered, and the dude was getting fancy with it on a spatula, and he dropped it, and I was just like,
This is the worst thing.
I was like almost like that was the tipping point. Bowie and my salmon.
He's tearing up right now just thinking about it.
You never came home and told me about the
not gonna tell you about
salmon.
the
We're going to save it
Salmon.
for a podcast.
Yeah. But yeah, that was really hard
He's
on me.
been waiting 11
Fuck
months
yeah.
to tell me.
And no offense to my good lady wife Amy, like every time, so we'd be wherever, and culturally Bowie's everywhere. So anytime like Starman came on wherever we were, she would be like, oh, and like try to embrace me, and it would make it worse.
yeah.
It's like, don't acknowledge it. Ignore the feelings.
I am a man.
I am
Turning
hashtag
off the feelings.
suppressing.
I think a part of me died a long time ago because like I'm just like, yeah, fucking everybody dies. Whatever. I don't care
Where
anymore.
did you turn so cold?
I don't even care. Whatever.
Well, you know,
to you.
post-apocalyptic fiction is really hot right now. And it's probably because, you know, when you read a story about, oh, I woke up and everybody was dead. It's like, it kind of gives you a little bit of comfort because then you don't have to get attached to a character.
Maybe that's why Rogue One's doing well. Spoiler!
But as you said, Anne, this, I think culturally this is our culture realizing, oh shit, we're getting old.
Yeah.
And
This is my
it's-
own humanity
it
now.
is-
I'm talking about
yeah.
my own.
Well, it is like
You know.
when like if you lost a mother, a
It's
parent.
it's getting there.
That it is.
Well, yeah,
like,
because, I mean, these
you're really truly
musicians
dealing with
and
like
actors,
the people you looked up to, right?
yeah,
Right.
they were a part of our lives. They helped shape who we are.
It's
And it wasn't.
Anne Princess Leia.
It wasn't like, and I'll say some names that are minor players but still big, like MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice
crisscross.
and Chris. It was like fucking Bowie, Prince, George Michael, and Princess Leia. Like
Yeah.
these were major
ones.
players.
Oh,
I'm
and
trying to
Alan
think.
Rickman.
Alan
Rickman, like who? Maybe Mary Lou Retton. I'm trying to name like.
Did she die?
No. But
Zsa
like,
Zsa Gabor
who
died.
else was like really important to me?
Yeah.
I can't even. Madonna, Mary
I
Lou
wanted to
Retton,
marry
Dolly.
Alan Rickman.
Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson.
Talk to me in Snape voice.
Oh,
Hello,
Hello.
Rickman.
Amy.
Harry Potter.
Don't you have a podcast
Would someone
to get to?
pass
oh my God!
the
You guys are making me
opportunity?
squirm.
SP60.
I am an exceptional thief.
Yeah.
Making me
Anyway,
swoon.
I think people are sad, and I think that we shouldn't judge people for how they process. Like, I think for me,
absolutely.
I process by being negative towards Rogue One, perhaps. And some people are yelling at people on Facebook about how they process. Like,
Facebook has just turned to shit.
it's turned to shit.
I kind of hope that they just shut it down. Just shut down Facebook.
Well,
Maybe
let me
that'll
get all
be-
That'll
my
help the
pictures
world.
Best
off
thing
first.
to die in 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has gotten really bad.
Yeah.
Is it like?
Well, young people are leaving
And
it.
I keep saying, did the algorithm change,
It did.
or does everyone suck on here?
No,
now?
the original, like, in the way back machine, 10 years ago, 8 years ago, Facebook was just you and your friends. That's all you saw.
Yeah, and now there's
Now you've-
advertising and they're heavy on video.
And you see posts from people you don't even know.
Yeah.
because someone else liked it.
Right, exactly. That's is what changed and what is causing
Yeah.
all the infighting, and everyone just jumped down people's throats.
Yeah.
And for one thread from someone in the middle of nowhere to get thousands and thousands and thousands of likes, and
Yeah.
it's no longer just about, hey, it's my friends hanging out,
Yeah.
sharing what we're doing. It's just a giant like posting board for everyone to say, you're wrong.
You know what it
Yeah.
kind of feels
Yeah.
like to me is like when they put two people in it's like cage fighting, an ultimate UFC championship, whatever.
UFC, yeah.
UFC championship.
Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Cage fighting. That's kind of what it feels like because like you're limited by this ecosystem.
And there's no point to any of it.
No.
No.
None.
No. And I mean, how many of us here have had an exchange or an encounter on Facebook where it left us in a pissy mood for like the rest of the day? And it's just like,
Never, because I never do it.
right,
Because
never
it's
ever.
so fucking pointless.
Well, that's just it. So it's like I don't even want to be on there. So I'll go for like a couple of days without checking it or like my
Literally since the before Halloween, like right around Halloween, I got on it like twice a week maybe.
yeah.
And
But-
and then I'm like, oh, I'm seeing the same shit after I scroll 7 times. I don't even care anymore. I'm out.
You have a crappy Facebook though.
I do, but
Mine's filled with
It's
like
also
nonprofit
sucks.
organizations I support and like the famous people I actually admire and
Yeah, you can cater it towards
Yeah.
positivity.
And then I do hide the people who blow
Yep.
Yeah.
and the people who are critical of like oh, we're all on the same side, but we're eating each other apart. Like, I get rid of that stuff. So you can make it better, but it takes some effort. And then
But
even
it also
then,
creates your bubble even smaller.
yes, which I am very aware of.
But
And that's,
But I like your bubble, Anne.
I like my
Your bubble's
too.
one of my favorite
I like both
bubbles
your
to
bubbles.
visit.
Thanks.
20 years ago, that
Yeah.
like we as humans don't know how to process this.
Yeah.
This
that's what
interaction,
it is.
we've never had this before.
No,
where
because you would
some
live in a town
douchebag
of-
in Ireland is calling me an asshole on our Rogue One, thread on our page or whatever. We've never had that level of
Yeah.
interconnectivity, and for some reason, so much. And there's probably statistics on it, but it seems that the negativity outweighs the positivity, which I hope isn't actually true. But it just we don't know how to deal with this much information.
From a
I definitely
nonprofit
think that
perspective, it's not true. Like, just negativity feels louder, but it's
Yes.
not.
Because it's such a black hole of abysmal experience. Like,
it
Well,
hurts.
when you
Yeah.
leave a customer review, if you're satisfied with the product, you
usually don't
very
think about it.
rarely say 5.
Exactly.
You do bitch when it sucks,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So and for some reason, assholes feel like it's their place to be like, I don't like what you say,
Yep.
Yeah.
versus you're doing a wonderful job today.
This
Yeah.
is why negative campaign mail works. Yes.
Right.
it's
Same part of the human
true.
psyche.
It's a very base instinct.
Yeah.
It's easy to latch onto. It's easy. It's very easy.
Well, like,
It's
for,
it's a fundamental dumb person thing to do.
for me personally, as an author who, like, if I got shitty reviews on my books, then I wouldn't have an income or a career. So in the very, very early days, if I got a negative review, like, it really bummed me out. And then I'd get the really positive ones and just be like, oh, they're full of shit. They don't really think the book is, worth reading. They're just blowing smoke up my ass, even though they're a total stranger. Yeah. And so it has taken so much conscious effort to
Get over it.
Yep.
get over the, it's like, yeah, bring on the bad ones, because overall, like, over 80% of
4.5
people
stars.
like it. So it just
Yeah.
like, I'm trying to be very logical and be like, the numbers don't lie. I'm not paying these people. I give them no incentive to give me a biased review. I tell them, be honest. If you don't
Right.
like it, say why, because it'll help.
I mean,
other
give me a
people.
5-star review, but say why you don't like it.
Right. So going back to radio, I think it's a really great documentary. It's probably super annoying and difficult for other people to watch, called Meeting People is Easy, about Radiohead touring with OK Computer.
It's a cool documentary.
Very cool. And it's all about Tom York, like, becoming super disillusioned with the music business and, like, super disconnected with the world around them because they're getting all this super high praise.
Right.
Right? And there's an interview with Johnny Greenwood, who's the guitar player, and
Is he the one with the dark hair?
he plays every instrument. He plays 500 instruments.
In
He's the
Creep,
super skinny
did
guy.
he on the video?
Yeah, he had long,
Yeah,
floppy hair.
I liked him. Anyway,
He's
continue.
doing like a phone interview with a journalist, and they're talking about all the reviews that come out, and Johnny's even like, yeah, there's when you read, I try not to read the reviews and the journalists' comments because there'll be 19 really good reviews and one bad one, and the one bad one always seems to make more sense to you.
Yeah, exactly.
And like that, for some reason, we as humans just like, oh, I am bad, aren't I? I'm
That was
terrible.
the insecurity that I was thinking.
Exactly. Yeah, it feeds on your insecurity.
So
Yeah.
back on the bitching about Facebook, people are like, oh, you don't know those people. They're fictional, or they are famous and they're far away from you and they're part of pop culture, and therefore you shouldn't feel sad. And I call bullshit on that.
Yeah.
Because like you're talking about, like, these are real people and their art, and they rose to the place that they are, and they are in our consciousness because of their talent. Mm-hmm. And that is art, and that is influential, and everything
And then you
they
become
what
a
they
fan of
do.
theirs and follow their career over 30 years.
It's important.
Right.
It's a reflection of the time that they represent, and it's a reflection of the time you found
It's
it.
a reflection of yourself too.
Yes,
Of saying
it's
this piece of art somehow represents me in some way.
yes.
Well, and the people that are
Yes.
saying don't feel your feelings over somebody that you don't know.
Yes.
I think that's just a huge defense mechanism.
Yeah.
I do too. And I think Mike Kaplan, who is a comedian I just adore, and fortunately is somebody who shows up on
Gabe
my
Kaplan's brother. Welcome back, Cutter.
No.
Nothing.
Mike MYQ Kaplan.
Oh, yeah.
He's awesome. But he said something today like, I have an idea. How about like, don't ever like anybody who makes any art and then you'll never feel sad. But then what you'll be permanently is sad because you will have never appreciated art. Like a circular argument. And I thought it was so good because like, that's it. When you throw yourself into loving something like Star Wars, then you might end up being disappointed by a Rogue One.
That's the risk, right?
Right. And you might be sad when fucking George Michael dies because father figure fuck.
Well, and that's
When The Matrix is the best movie ever, Revolutions can't be good.
No.
Right. But at least you had Matrix.
I liked the second one, whatever that was called.
was
But
good.
yeah, that's
Reloaded.
like that's every stereotypical love story is like, oh, I don't want to get attached because I might get hurt again.
Right.
It's like you don't gain anything unless you try and open up and throw yourself out there.
No reward.
Exactly.
And I know I don't sound like the least judgmental person in the world, but I actually do see value in a shitty bottle of wine, in my opinion, or a shitty piece of art, in my opinion.
Speaking of,
Yeah.
pass the Franzia.
It's part of it. Like, it's somebody's expression. And for whatever
leaking.
reason, it's in front of you. Like, why do I know about Franzia? Because there's a whole lot of people who like it. So,
just toss it out on the deck.
okay.
That's been why I'm
Anything more on 2016 and its painfulness?
Oh, what else sucked this year?
Just it's the unfortunate thing is it will continue.
It will continue.
Well, and to be fair, I think it's just become like almost a parody of itself to just be like, fucking 2016.
It's an
It
outlet.
definitely has.
Because there were a lot of good things that happened. Like a friend of ours got to leave her job. I got to leave my day job.
We bought a new house.
Jason got that hat.
I got this. Nope, this is an old hat.
Oh, damn it.
This is old hat.
Old hat.
Did you get what I did there?
We
But
did.
new
I
house.
was thinking we had some nice. We actually
We had
are.
a great fun year, I thought.
And we all saw each other a ton.
And
know
we
we've had-
still like each other.
Yeah, we've had years where like we need to hang out more. No, we did a good job.
I mean, if you do 24 podcasts in a season, that means we have gotten drunk at least 100 times this year.
Oh, Jed. Okay. That's been Wine Wars for this week. Be sure to follow us on all the things. Please write us an email at winewarspodcast@gmail.com. Download us at Stitcher. Write a review at
iTunes.
And until next time, please remember, it's just grape juice.
1, 2, 3, 4. Wine Wars.